Hey everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds. We are here today with haul number 55. All right, before we get into all the things, it was a good week. A lot of mystery this week, so we'll get into some of that. I did get one baggie, a lot of other really different things, so that's exciting too. I participated in an interesting auction type thing I want to share real quick. And we'll talk about what sold. So let's do the what solds first. Over on eBay, I sold this chicken and bunny set of ramekins, Martha Stewart. I paid $5.98 for it, sold for $17. That had been listed for a while. I also sold this English Garden fine china. I had originally paid $6.99 for it. It sold for $19, but it had been sitting for over a year, I would say. So that was not the best buy. I originally had it listed much higher and I kept dropping the price and someone finally bought it. So anyway, did make a profit, $6.99 into $19, but it did sit for quite some time. Over on Niknax, I sold this really awesome little uranium glass toothpick holder. And I had originally paid $1.99 for it. It sold for $14.85. That was on, I had it listed at $16. There were a lot of people that were liking it. So I sent an offer to everybody that was like 10% off and somebody bought it. So that was fun. Then I had my cat show and I sold all these cats, lots and lots of cats. I did not make a huge profit on that show. It was a fun show. The goal of that show was not profit. The goal of that show was to give back to people because I've been on Niknax for 6 months and this was my 6-month anniversary celebration. So I had $68.50 into this. That was my cost of goods of everything that sold. After the fees, let's see, total sold was $147. My total profit after subtracting the cost of goods and fees and whatnot was right around $57.54. So, I mean, it's not huge, but it is okay. It was like, I turned a profit or I got some money back out of right around $58 for just sitting in front of a camera and hanging out with some people for an hour. So that was fun. Compare that to my paperweight show a few weeks ago, where the average sale per item was like $10.61, and I sold a lot of items. So it was close to $300 in profit on that paperweight show. So that's, the big difference from this one, which was, I think the profit was like $58. And, you never know, and it's okay. Like, I am doing this to learn stuff. I swear the next 2 or 3 more years is still going to be learning until I retire, in which case, hopefully I will have learned. I will never stop learning, but hopefully at that point, I'll be able to churn this and really focus on what works. But anyway, it was super fun. And tonight I have another show. I have a tour of Italy show, and that one should be pretty good. So 7:30 p.m. if this video goes up. Hopefully it will go up before that, Sunday night, the 24th of November on niknax.net. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. So I think before, I have this thing I want to talk about, but I think I'm going to save it to the end. It's a paperweight that I bought that I did not get through normal channels. And it's amazing, but it's a conversation. So let's first focus on all the cool things I found this week. And then if we have time, we'll talk about the paperweight. Okay. All right. So I went out only 2 nights this past week because it was a busy week. I had a couple really good days. So the first one, I think was a Saturday or Sunday, one day last weekend, I went out and, I got really lucky. at the first place that I went. So I don't even know where to start here, y'all. It's like so many things. I'm going to start with the wow. Because I turned a corner. I'm going to try to grab this without breaking anything here. I turned a corner, and there were a lot of people in the store. It was a busy, busy day. This was on the shelf. Okay, now it measures 12-inch diagonal. I can't remember I think it's like 8.5 or something, or I can't remember exactly the square size, but it is a Murano bowl. Clearly Murano, even if it didn't have a sticker, but it has a sticker. Okay, so I paid $5.99 for this. I was in shock. I was excited. You know, it's one of those things, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, that's the other thing. It's amazing. And it was just sitting there, and people are walking by, and I'm just like, y'all, that's Murano. But I didn't say that. Obviously, that's not what they are looking for. They're all looking for different things, right? But I was excited to be in the right place at the right time and find this amazing Murano bowl. It is made by Fratelli Toso. Apparently, what I learned is that blue sticker is used exclusively by Fratelli Toso. So if you see a piece with this sticker and it is blue, according to the people in the Murano group on Facebook, that is a Fratelli Toso piece. He was one of the Murano masters back in the day. So super exciting find. Is it worth a fortune? No. But it's still really cool. So the last two that sold were like 45-ish. There was one that sold like 10 years ago that sold for like 20 something. But the last two that sold were right around 45-ish. So this is actually in my Italy auction tonight on Niknax. I've started it at $32. It will probably sell. It again depends who's in the room. And what they're looking for, but if it sells, it might sell around 32 to 38, I would say. Maybe higher, never know. I paid $5.99 for it, and it rocked my world a little bit. And then the other thing, the same place. Now this is one of the mysteries. Okay, now there's two of them, and I don't have a lot to share on these quite yet. Okay, these are hand blown. You can see how uneven they are. These are not Murano. I mean, I don't think they're Murano. I think they are United States, and I think they are art glass, and they are signed. And all I can see from the signature, it looks like it says DW on both of them. It's very small. It really looks like DW. I can't figure it out. And when I do Google Lens on this particular piece, I don't get anything that looks anything like this. So they're definitely unique. And even these two are different. Like you can see the base of this one is more like triangular, and the base of this one is more like a, I don't know, not triangular, more square, although it's a 3D shape. Anywho, they're close, right? They go together. Whoever had them apparently bought them together and donated them together. I paid $7.98 for the pair, so they were $3.99 each. I have no idea how much they're worth. I would like to think they're worth a lot of money. They're amazing, but I don't know. So I wrote down likely 48 to 65 plus for the pair. It may not be that high. I really just don't know. So this is, like I said, a mystery, which I need to get solved. So I'll be posting these in one of the online groups and trying to see if I can find anyone who knows anything about who might have made these. I'll get back to you guys if I figure it out. But for now, that's our first mystery. But they're amazing, and I'm sure they're worth more than $7.98 for the pair. I mean, even if I sell them for $18, that's still a profit, right? But I think there's something, and as long as I don't break them, I think we're good. Then I found these masks that, you know, the store was really busy and really loud, and I was just kind of rushing to get through, so I didn't have a chance to look these up. These are masks, brass masks, okay, drama masks, and they have the ribbons and stuff on them. There's a sticker on the back of one that says solid brass made in India. And I apparently did not remove the stickers from the thrift store, so I'm not going to turn them around and show you. I just thought they were really cool, and they're brass, and brass has been selling. So I paid up a little bit. I paid $5.98 for the pair. So what's that, $2.99 each? They're probably worth $15 to $30 as a pair. Some of them, if you look individually, are selling anywhere from $8 to $18. And when they're selling in pairs, they're obviously a little more than that. So I think 15 to 30 is what I wrote down as the value of those. But I gotta find a little more info on those as well. I know that they're from India. I don't know more than that. Then I found this little pot for 99 cents, and I love this. It's raku. Okay, it's got a little top, ceramic, and it's signed. See that signature? That is Jay Diller. Jay Diller is a very, very prolific raku potter. Now, if I remembered to bring it with me, I did. I actually found a little picture of Jeremy Diller. So this is the artist on this one. Now that's probably a really old picture. It says he's inspired by the beauty in nature. He loves to combine the brilliant colors of raku with items found in nature, such as turquoise feathers, fallen branches, and crystals, but that's not what this particular piece is. He said, I feel so blessed to be making art for a living and have the support of my talented team of artisans. So I couldn't find anything more about him more recently other than a wholesale site. So he, at this point, does a lot, high volume pottery, raku, lots of bright colors, and he sells through galleries, mostly in the Southwest, but all over. And if you go to their website, they're basically looking for people to rep them and to sell their pieces into more places. It is signed, and this does appear to be his signature. So this may be an older piece, and it's just really cool. It actually, the top, I'm going to turn this, I'm going to put the pot down for a second. I just realized the top actually has a cocopelli on it. I didn't realize that, and the light here makes it obvious, so that makes it even better. All right, so I paid 99 cents, 15 to 18 on his mini pots. So yeah, it actually has a little bit of a glaze chip. A little bit of a glazed chip right there, but you can't feel anything. So anyway, that was a fun little find. I always like finding the little things that everybody's overlooking. And then the other thing that was crazy in the store was this baggie. There was this baggie sitting there for $7.99, and it was filled to the brim. Like, it was stuffed with stuff. And I kept going back and forth. And even when I got up to the cashier, I was like, I don't know about this one. And then, I don't know, something told me just go for it. So I did. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I think the value is definitely more than $7.99. So I'm going to go through everything that was in that baggie, probably a little faster than you'd like me to, but I want to go through everything. So this was the thing that made me want to pick up the baggie. It was a hummingbird in flower, and I figured from looking at the baggie that this piece alone was worth the $7.99, because they sell in the 12 to 18 range, this type of thing. And it sits, the base of the ceramic is flat. It sits flat. I believe this is glass. Oh, am I forgetting? I'm forgetting. I forgot the company. It's the same one that did that little cat that I had a while back. Maybe Glass Act, Glass Art, Glass. I don't remember. Anyway, I like this. So I decided to get it my fear was that it was broken and I couldn't tell because the bag was so slammed full of stuff, but thankfully he's not broken. So that was really exciting, and that was the first thing in that baggie. The rest of it I am going to go through a little faster if I can. There was this flower that is glass that I can't find anything like anywhere online. When I try to do a Google Lens search, I get very bizarre results. So I don't know. I am going to say that this guy is worth a couple bucks, $1, $2. I'll probably start this in my glass show for $1 and see if anybody wants it. Again, I paid $7.99 for the bag. So, and I got, I don't know, 15 items. There's so much here. So anyway, that was in there. The other glass piece that was in there was this little glass cube with the little swirl inside. Kind of fun. Likely made in China. There's nothing here to indicate that it's anything special. Excuse me. It's just a little, and it's little, glass cube. Did I rate how much? I have $4 to $8 potentially on that one. There are a couple things that were worth nothing, and I'll just show you these. I got this little Eiffel Tower keychain and a pair of wooden clogs. I haven't even bothered to look these up because to me they don't really have value for resale. So I don't know. If I have a yard sale, they'll go into like a 25-cent bin or something. Okay, I also found this glass stopper. I'm going to keep this because it's in really good condition, and you never know when you're going to need a glass stopper. So like I said, I'm going to hold on to that. So that's probably worth $6 to $8, but I'm going to keep it. And there was this Delft blue clog in there. Now these have a little bit of value. 8 to 12 on that. So just this shoe basically pays for the bag. Okay. So then there were a couple pieces of ceramic in there, pottery. There's this little tiny miniature bowl, and it's signed, and it's signed Tater Knob. And that I was able to look up online. It's a pottery place in Kentucky, and they actually have a section on their site that says small bowls. And so they do a lot of these mini bowls, and they sell them for 8 to 18 new. So it would be like what, 4 to 9, 4 to 8 would be the resale value of this. And they say, you know, use them in your kitchen to measure spices, or like if you're chopping things, to just hold the things while you're waiting to put it in a recipe. So I don't know, 4 to 8 on that. Thought that was cool. Then there's this other really cool little ceramic piece. I don't know anything about it. The base is really interesting, the way it's cut, and it is signed. And this is one it's another mystery. I'm going to ask in one of the pottery groups, because it feels to me like it's something. It may not be something, but the way that it's signed, the signature looks very professional. The way that base is cut looks really different to me, and I think it will be identifying to who the artist is. So stay tuned. Hopefully I can get that mystery solved in the next week or so. Can't promise, but I'm going to try. Other thing that was in there was this little shelf sitter pixie. Just a little happy fairy. She's resin. Don't know much more about her. Thankfully she's in great condition. I have no idea. Like, I don't know. It's so outside of my wheelhouse. I have no idea how much she's worth. Maybe, I don't know. Some of the fairies are worth a lot, but let's just call it 8 to 12. Some of them are you know, up to 30 in the solds. So I don't know, but she's definitely worth a little something. And then there were a couple of stone pieces. There's this stone frog, this little onyx carved stone frog. Not a ton of value, probably 4 to 8 on that one. And then there's the little rhino, and this one could be worth more. I think it might be soapstone. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I really just don't know. So that's the rhino guy. And I've got him as 4 to 15 because the solds are all over the place. There's not this exact one, so it's hard to figure it out. Other thing that was in there was this tiny little resin dog. I'd put him at $4 maybe. If I do a dog versus cat show or something like that, he would go in something like that. I mean, I wouldn't list him on eBay, but I would save him for a live show. And I think that's everything that was in that little baggie. Okay. So again, $7.99 in. I forgot to add up just the totals of just the baggie, but definitely more than $7.99, and it's probably going to return quite a bit. So that was a fun little find. The other place that I went that day had a couple sit-in stricker bowls, and I'm getting closer and closer to actually doing one of these fused glass, doing a show that's going to be just fused glass. I'm very much leaning toward doing that. I'm thinking about in the spring because most of this stuff is floral. So I may hold on to this stuff for a while. I'm not really sure. I paid $3.19 for each of these two pieces. It's that one. The solds on these are 8 to 18 plus. Like, they are literally all over the place. It's just so hard to value some of these things when you look at the solds, and they're everywhere from, you know, like $6 and $8 and 18 and 26, and it's like, I don't know. So I like to list high when I list on eBay and take offers. If I do my auctions, I list low, like half of what I would list on eBay, and see what the value sells for that day. So it depends when and how I sell as to what they're worth. The other things I found that day, I found this cat picture, and I already ran him in my cat show last week. He did not sell. So this one probably will go up on eBay. Not sure exactly when. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff. I listed probably 10 things yesterday on eBay. And also listing all my Italian things over on Niknax. So trying to get everything up for the holidays. And then I found another one of these cube paperweights. That's a weird one, right? But I'm sure we'll do another paperweight sale at some point. And obviously I'm going to have the expensive ones, but I also want to have some that are lower end. You know, I would say 12 to 18 on that. I paid $3.99 for it. There's two currently listed right now at $45. I think it's a 12 to 18 range piece, but at auction it could go a lot higher. It's kind of a fun little piece. Oh wait, there's a label, y'all. I don't know why I didn't see that before. Hand blown glass for decorative use only. Wipe clean with a damp cloth. Made in China. So now we know a little more about this, but I still say 12 to 18 on it. Maybe more, but definitely at least double what I paid for it. I paid $3.99 for it, so that was good. Okay, then I went out on the 21st, and it was another good day. It was a weird day because I found more mysteries. So this is my first mystery. This beautiful candlestick. It's ceramic painted, maybe even porcelain, and it's brass or bronze or some sort of metal. It's beautiful, ornate, right? It's I didn't clean it. It's got some schmutz there, but it's a beautiful candlestick. And it looks like it would hold both a really skinny taper and a big fat one, because like there's an interesting insert. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's an interesting insert in there that looks like it would take a taper candle and then also a thicker candle, is how I'm reading it. Nothing like it out there that I can find, at least according to Google Lens. I've seen some that are like just the single layer. Really, really hard to value because I don't know what I've got. So I'm going to be posting this on one of the vintage sites because I do believe it's old, and see if we can figure out at least which country this comes from. I have a hunch, but I don't want to guess and be wrong. So I paid $3.99 for it. I think it's probably worth 18 to 24, maybe less. Not sure. Could be a lot more depending on what it is. So I don't really know. But it's a cool mystery. Definitely worth more than I paid. And hopefully I will get some answers and get back to you on that. Same with this next piece. Sometimes I just pick stuff up on a hunch, right? So there's this thing. I think it's something. I don't know what. And again, Google is being somewhat helpful. I can't find this exact thing. It looks like a couple of ladies in a forest petting a deer. I don't know. Oh, there's a hole in it. Oh, that's interesting. There's one little spot there where there's a hole in it. Anyhow, I don't know if it's cast iron, cast bronze. It looked like copper, right? But the black stuff doesn't seem to polish off. I'm seeing listings for things that are, you know, antique cast iron, antique cast brass, bronze. I didn't see anything that said copper. I don't know. I hate to come to you guys and be like, I don't know what this is. Found this thing. It's cool. I still don't have enough information to get back to you. So, like, again, this will be one of the projects this week, is to post this and try to figure out what I've got. The listeds right now are from $35 anywhere up to the hundreds and thousands. So there was one, it was like $1,035 or something like that listed. I don't find solds because I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Like, I don't know if this was meant to hang something, if it was meant to, as, you know, just as decorative, or if it's meant as some sort of a mold for something. I'm not really sure. So we'll table this, call it a mystery, and hopefully I will have some answers for you next week. I'm going to make a little pile of things that I want to get answers to, so hopefully I will have them. All right. The next place I went, thankfully no mysteries. I found a little agate vase. Okay, not worth a fortune, but I did sell a bigger one of these recently for quite a bit of money. This was $3.99. Solds on this are probably around 18, not a ton, but it's a nice piece. So let's call it 12 to 18. Also found this really fun cat ring holder. I wish I had found it last week so I could have had it in my cat sale, but I will save him for another cat sale. He's chrome. He polishes up beautifully. And again, listed and sold all over the place. There's some being sold on Amazon right now, new, for $60. I think that's nuts. They may be contemporary, and somebody may be buying them in bulk right now. I'm not sure. On Etsy, the solds are $35, $29, $35 and up. On eBay, the solds are like 10 to 18. So again, it's another one I don't know enough to know. I will probably do, like I said, I'll probably have him in an auction on Niknax, probably sometime in the spring. Actually, it'll probably be May. I'll probably do my 1-year anniversary show, and it will probably also be cats. It might be cats and dogs. We'll see where things are, but I'm going to start collecting cats for that. And then I found this little rust bird. I kept walking away and leaving it and coming back and walking away and coming back. It's like I couldn't leave him. I think he's resin. He's still got a tag. But he was only 99 cents. And the solds on these are, let me look, there are a lot of rust birds with crossed legs on the solds, and they're 8 to 15. So because he was so cute, I couldn't leave him. And I think he will be good, even on eBay. So we'll see on that one. And then I went to one more place that day, and I found some really cool things. I found this beautiful inlay marqueterie bowl. Like, it's gorgeous. Now, it was handcrafted by David Bybee. There is no David Bybee on the internet. that's alive, or at least that's local. I can't find anybody that was a David Bybee that did art. Like I found one that was like a fire chief or something. Like there were a lot of wrong answers. I don't know if this was just a hobbyist maybe, but whoever it was very good. It's the kind of piece you would buy at a craft show. So I think this has some value to it. I paid $2.99. I wrote down 12 to 18, but I think this could go much higher. I think if I were listing it on eBay, I'd probably start it at 35 or higher. Maybe 40, I don't know, because it's so small. I'd probably start it at 35 and see what happened. So there's that one. Then I picked up this thing that I probably shouldn't have picked up. I just thought it was cool. It's a couple of lovebirds. They're crystal. They were made in China. The company is Shannon Crystal from Ireland, but they made their stuff overseas. I paid $5.99 for it, which is probably a little too much. One sold, there were two that sold on eBay in the past year. One sold for $20 in March and one sold for $25. Actually, it looks like last December 2023. So that's still in the past year. So $20 to $25 on this. And I paid $5.99 for them. I just thought they were really cool. So yeah. I don't know. It's one of those I'm not sure, but it's not broken anywhere. A lot of times I find things like this and I get home and they're broken. And I checked that over so closely and nothing is broken. And then I found another metal sailboat. So I did find one of these a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. This one's a different artist. The artist here is Yossi, Y-O-S-I. Also on an agate slab. And it's got the little flying bird. And this one has the spinnaker, the wire thingy. The other one didn't. I think this one is a lot newer than the one I found last time. This one, I paid $3.74, and the solds are in the 18 to 24 range. So that's all the things. I am going to, since we do have a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about the paperweight. Okay. All right. First, I'm going to show you the paperweight. It's amazing. This is a Robert Eichholt paperweight. And look at, like, first of all, it's hard because it's got the ring light shadow on it. It's kind of like a jellyfish double. It's like the same techniques that they used to do the jellyfish that have all the little thingies underneath. This is like a double jellyfish. It's also got like a bubble in the center and like a halo around it. It's got controlled bubbles kind of in a cross pattern. Take a look at that. If you look at it from the top down, it's amazing. It's like the jellyfish, and then it's got the rays from that bottom one. And so it's magnifying them, and it's giving you this amazing, amazing effect. If you light it up from the inside, like put it on one of these lighted things, it gives you yet a different look. Let me go ahead and take a minute and plug it in. Wait, that's bright. All right, I'm going to try to lift it up. It's super heavy. Ooh. Okay. So, yeah, it probably doesn't work as well with the camera, but at least you can see it a little bit, what this thing looks like. Okay. The other thing that's amazing about it is very, very, very reactive under blacklight. So my blacklight battery is kind of dying, and you're probably not going to be able to tell. But this thing lights up, like if you're in a dark room and you put the blacklight on it, the thing in the center, that thing that looks blue, it just shines bright, like light up bright green, okay? It's Robert Eichholt. It's signed Eichholt 2006. He was a prolific glass artist, lived in Columbus, Ohio. He retired in 2013 at the age of 64, I believe. He was born in 47. I did some research on him a little earlier. So where did I get this? So there's another reseller out there. His name is Mike. He has a channel here on YouTube, and I'm going to link to it in the description below. He goes by Well Swung because when he started on the other selling platform, he was selling a lot of swung vases. And he's branched off and done a lot of different things. And I find him so interesting because he reminds me of my dad in some ways, and that he gets locked into a thing and then just follows his thing. So he's had lots of really cool ideas. And so he does these great theme shows. And it's just been really fun following him. I've been following him for a long time, along with some of the other resellers that I follow a lot of resellers. So he did this thing the other night, very different. It's kind of like gambling. So it's an auction, and you bid on the chance to buy one of these iCold things. So basically he had a bunch of iCold paperweights, ranging in value from about $40 up to $165. And I bought a chance it ended up being $61. And so, I mean, everybody who buys a chance gets a paperweight. You just don't know if it's going to be a $40 one, a $60 one, $80 one, $165. You don't know what you're going to get. It was more just a fun way to spend an evening, right? And so then they do, once everybody's bought their spot, then they use a random wheel and they assign numbers, because each of the paperweights had a number on the bottom. They assign the paperweights, they assign the paperweights a number. Then the first person who won the auction gets to spin the wheel, and then on the wheel they get a number, and then they get their paperweight. Complicated. Anyway, I won this guy. Okay. So my total spend on him, it was $61 plus shipping, probably around $75. He's probably worth about $135. So I was one of the people that got lucky and got a higher end piece. I don't plan on selling this anytime soon because it's so cool. So I'm going to admire it for a while. I think if we do a paperweight show in the spring, I may have this in there. I think by then I'll have looked at him enough. But just a super fun way to spend an evening. And when I sell it, I should make $20 to $50 on it, depending on where and how I sell it. I may choose to put it up on eBay. I don't know yet. I gotta think about it. But meanwhile, I'm just gonna admire it because, like, this is insane. Like, it is literally insane. And I wish I had the facility here to just turn off all the lights and show you guys under black light what this thing looks like. It's incredible. So anyway, that's that for right now. So my total spend for this week, not counting the paperweight, okay, because that's a whole separate thing. But my finds this week, my total spend was $71.16. And very, very conservatively on those, I came up with $305, which is like around 4x, a little more than 4 times. I think some of these pieces, especially some of the mystery pieces, could be a lot more and could send that number much higher. I gotta find out what I found. And I mean, that's the fun of it. Unfortunately, when I find things and then try to show them to you guys within a week, I haven't always finished all my research yet. So stay tuned. Follow us, like, subscribe, all the things. Hopefully there'll be a lot more exciting finds to come. And if you can, watch us tonight on Niknax. I have a lot of fun things loaded. I am hoping to still load another 2 or 3 before the show tonight. Niknax.net. I'll have the link to the actual show in the description. Thank you all. We'll see you next week. Have a good week, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.